It's like
Get my buzz on
music
before the
video,
show.
and it's like,
Well, so the original, when we started the show, and hopefully he's recording this because this will be on. Thanks. When I first started the show, we used to tape it in my fifth floor walk-up in Boston. And it was ready, set, blow, because me and my co-host, we would get high and drink, and I would eventually get on my soapbox and start railing about something. So people think it's about me sucking cock.
That's what
doing
that
coke.
was the first.
That's nothing to do with that yet. This might be the episode.
I saw
George.
I saw the name of the podcast. I saw that Don Zolo had been on it, and I was like, okay, yeah, it's got to be about.
Yeah, got to be a couple of homos. All right, guys, and on that, I'll start the show. Welcome back to the Ready, Set, Blow podcast, episode 336 with George. Is it Dulcich or Dulcich?
Dulcich.
Dulcich. Okay, I want to get it right because it's was it Croatian?
Croatian, yes.
Okay. Oh, so what do they speak in Croatia?
Croatian. Yeah.
Oh, it's its own dialect.
Yeah.
Okay, because I know it's a former Soviet. Dude, I grew up with a lot of Croatian people actually.
Did you really?
Well, in New York. Yugoslavia was a country, and like after I'm much older than you, and I, in the 80s and 90s when all those countries were becoming independent, like when I was a little kid, like 86, 87, we had a landlord, and he was Yugoslavian, but they called themselves Gypsy. Like they call themselves gypsies. So I think he was Serbian. Like after,
okay, yeah. Then for sure, a gypsy. If
when Serbia became a country, he was Serbian. But before then, he was just referred to himself as a gypsy.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, but there are a lot in New York, like Chicago area to LA. So.
Oh yeah, plenty of a lot of Albanians too. Same thing. All from all that area.
Yeah.
So you have your bloodlust against the Serbs? Who's the enemy? Are you Orthodox? Are you Muslim?
Catholic.
Okay, so
Croatians are Catholics.
Okay.
Serbians are backwards.
Serbians are mutants.
Yeah, they're Orthodox, and then Bosnia has like all three.
And Albanians are a lot of Muslims too in there, right?
Okay. Yeah, exactly.
Which is funny because like that's a big thing going on nowadays. Like if you say anything about Islam, it's like you're racist. It's like, well, it's a religion. It's not a race. Yeah. Most of the people that are Islamic that practice Islam are actually Asian. Like Thailand, the Philippines is I think has the largest Muslim population of any country.
And you hate them all the same.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're not white. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Obviously, no. But I think if you criticize, that's the thing. Like, I don't know. I'm old school. Like, you're allowed to believe whatever you want, and I respect your right to believe it. But I can also believe your ideas are bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I can just disagree with your religion. Like, I don't believe that. And me calling you an idiot for believing it is my right, just like it's your right to practice.
Who are the guys? Who walks around with the knocks on your door?
The Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah.
They got a weird thing because they're Christians, but I remember they can't celebrate anything. I remember there was a kid in my elementary school class, like first grade. I think his name was John Diaz, and it's vague enough, so I'm not going to rat this guy out. There's 1,000 of them, but he was a Jehovah's Witness, and he was the only one who didn't have to like put his hand in his heart for the Pledge of Allegiance in the morning.
They let him like out of.
Well, no, he had to stand up, but as their religion, they can't because they think it's idolatry if they pray to anything but Jesus. Yeah, and
it's weird.
So they were like, he stood up, but he just didn't put his hand on his heart because it would have been, praying to to a symbol, the flag, not to Jesus Christ.
And
or
are
God.
you're Catholic?
I was raised Catholic, and then I turned 8
same.
and realized it wasn't for me.
What? You? No.
Look, and it's funny because I've done enough mushrooms now that I could say I don't know what's going to happen after you die, but I certainly don't believe in organized religion. I mean, it's because I was saying on a couple podcasts ago, I feel like every time the organized religion gets involved, that like a group takes control of a religious sect, they just start using the people. I mean, like
for the donations.
Yeah, give me your money. I want your wife. Leave your children with us. All that weird shit. You could read the Bible and believe in that and not have to go to church.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? And look, and I'm not a Bible guy, but I have more of a problem with the organization of religion than I do with people believing things they choose to believe.
No, yeah,
I don't give a shit what you believe, but once you get involved in the organization, start proselytizing and demanding other people live your way, it's like, all right, man, like you can't tell someone else how to live their life.
The book is the book, and it's there, and whatever you want to do with it, you can do with
it.
I see what you're saying. It's like the same thing. You can think of like higher education. The same. You don't need to go to the school with like the letters and the brain.
Yeah.
You can go.
You can get your education on your own.
Yeah.
And I sit down on that. Are you still are you a devout guy? Do you practice? You did all your sacraments, I assume, right?
Yeah, all the sacraments. I mean, I go to church like
whenever your parents are looking.
Yeah. My parents go like every Sunday and stuff, but I pop in here and there.
Okay.
But we do like all the Croatian, like it's fun like being in the Croatian like Catholic community because we do like a bunch of events there and stuff. We watch.
Oh yeah, you guys
World
are watching
Cups
the games,
there.
right?
So that makes it fun actually.
How are the chicks?
Chicks are good.
Because I'm saying, like, I feel like you find a decent girl in the church.
Yeah.
You know,
there's a decent chance they're your cousin.
Also, I mean, a decent girl, but she's also into kinky stuff.
Yeah.
You know, because that bound up upbringing, they do butt stuff. I mean, let's be honest here. It's not a.
Did you find out from the gypsy? Is this how you
from
know?
Your mom.
This is how you know.
From the gypsy? Oh yeah. I fucked my landlord. Sabu. He was a 60-year-old man.
Now, was that the landlord? Is that where you grew up? That was your landlord growing up?
Queens.
Or?
Yeah, 1869 Cornelia Street.
1869 was the year? Wow.
No, well, I'm not that
younger
old.
than I thought.
I know. Thank you. What are you, fucking 23 taking shots at me?
26.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
Oh my God, listen, you. I'm jealous. Actually, I'm not jealous. I mean, it would be nice to have the youth, but I feel like being 26 now, man, it's a lot more like you're dodging a lot more fucking bullets.
Yeah.
A lot more like I could just imagine like dating is a lot more difficult. Fucking jobs, right? I mean, like you obviously work at in a different field than most, but like there's no job security. There's no like path for normalcy anymore. Like. And
what I was thinking before I went on it, I think as comics, there's always like some doubt about the path and what's going to happen. I've always thought, what, if I needed to get out, I could, and maybe some people are like, oh, then she used to do that thing. But there's not much out there. But I was like, if I go on Randy's podcast, then I'm fully in. I'm fully in.
Yeah, you can be canceled for sitting next to me.
Exactly. I knew there was some danger to it.
I think I used like 4 inappropriate words to open the show.
Yeah. We tore down I
trashed Islam. I said I had to have sex with your mom. It's off to a tough start. Cheers, brother.
Dude, I on Saturday, because the Croatia played in the 3rd place game. We won the bronze medal. That started at 7 a.m. I drank for 15 hours straight on Saturday.
What do you when you're doing 15 hours? I mean, so you're still a young guy. When you're doing 15 hours of drinking, what are you going with? Is it like college days? You're just slamming beers?
It was mostly beers, but some like Croatian liquor too, taking shots and stuff. And yesterday I was absolutely in the trenches, like so bad.
Well, at least you had Sunday. At least I assume you had the day off.
But I'm at the point now where it's like you used to be able to just like bounce back. Now it's like I'm still feeling it a bit on Monday.
Really? 26?
But 15 hours is a lot.
The 15 hours is a lot. But I mean, we were out doing gigs in Sacramento. And I got wasted, and every Sunday Sunday's my day off.
Yeah,
because we fly back or drive back from the gigs, and I'm fucking shot. I'm usually drinking until I get on my plane because I'll get on the first plane out.
Yeah,
but I did in DC, and then I'm just fucking I'm on Old Man River. But also like I look forward to the downtime of it. Like after the big weekend, it's like all right.
Sunday,
especially this time of year with football on. Obviously like World Cup because you're a fucking communist, but. You're a terrorist.
Yes.
Because if only people who like soccer support terror.
Dude, but did you watch any of the World Cup?
I watched England France.
Okay, that was a good game.
It was a good game.
There were a lot of good games.
Look, I've been to international soccer games and those are fun. But watching it on TV, I don't have a dog in the fight, so it's not really. Yeah. Like I get the atmosphere of it is fun. But if I'm not having any interest in the team playing, like, I'm not going to sit home and watch.
They can't
at a bar.
Really
I watched France England at a bar. Like I'm down with that. But,
those are always fun. Yeah.
So, but I went to a live game down in Buenos Aires in 2007.
Oh, I'm sure.
I saw they're like Yankees Red Sox of soccer were playing, and they had to play at a neutral stadium because the last time they played, each team's supporters erupted into a riot and a couple guys got stabbed.
Love that. That's the thing about soccer. There's so much like Yankees, Boston, like they don't like each other. I hate them, but like in soccer, and it's just pure hatred. Yeah. Like
it's just as violent as a Dodgers game. That Dodgers parking lot is fucking sketchy, which is weird. I don't know. I think it just erupts into gang violence, but it was wild because we went to this neutral field, and they let the opposing team's fans in on one like end zone. I don't know what it's called in soccer, and then the other team's fans in the other end zone. Then they locked them in. They had these big gates and locked them in. Then the neutral fans went on either side. They played the game. They had a moat around the field itself, and then guys sitting on water guns in case anyone tried to rush the field.
That's wild.
Then after the game ended, they let the neutral sides out first. They let the away team out and had them clear out. And then they unlock. Obviously, it's a fucking fire hazard.
Yeah,
they
unlock the first thing.
But I mean, it's South America. Laws are fucking. Even in Argentina, which is relatively well established, it's still fucking. They could do it. They don't follow fire code down there. They don't believe in it.
What were you doing in Argentina?
I was on vacation, man.
Oh, okay.
Oh, dude, when I went, it was.
I thought maybe you were in those German Argentinians.
Yeah.
I thought.
No, man, I'm Dominican. Hitler would have hated me.
Okay. Good.
Argentines don't get enough shit for that, by the way.
I know.
For housing the Nazis.
Yeah.
Everyone talks about how the church laundered Nazi gold, but no one talks about how the Argentine people just accepted all the Nazis to come and live with them.
They have like full villages over there and stuff.
Oh, they speak German.
Yeah.
There's German towns over there. It's wild.
I would like to visit though. I think that would probably be
and
probably cheaper than going to actual Germany.
Dude, way cheaper. So I went in 2007. I don't know what the exchange rate is today, but it was like 7 pesos to $1. And when you exchange it, it was like literally a can of Coke costs $0.10 down there, as opposed to $1 up here. It's like, I'm fuck. So I stayed at the Four Seasons Hotel for 2 weeks for $100 US a night.
Was this?
It cost me what, $1,400? I mean, it's a $500 night hotel.
Yeah,
$500 a night hotel here in the United States. Cost me $100 US. It was great, dude.
Was this
lavender towels, like cold lavender towels on my face? I swear to God, they said somebody passing them out by the pool. I felt like a fucking.
And then meanwhile, then the favelas right down the road, it's just like, I'm sure. I hope you had a good time. I hope you had a good time.
I didn't walk anywhere. I hired a couple of those peasants to carry me around.
What are those things? Like
just piggyback me.
Harlequin things or whatever.
Oh yeah, those are cool. Rickshaws.
Those. We need to bring those back for sure.
You know what? A rickshaw might get you around fast here in LA.
Yeah.
As long as it's like a one-seater so you can cut the lane like they do on the motorcycle.
Yeah.
Man, and then we get homeless jobs, dude. I mean, we might be solving a problem here.
I did also want to solve some problems so this is a good start. There are a couple things.
Let's solve homelessness.
A couple things I want to say. That was one of them. A second one was...
You start a platform?
Yeah.
Yeah, what did you want to talk about? I should open podcasts like that for that. So what did you want to talk about? People are like, what the fuck? You invited me over here.
I had some checklists. One of them was, George or Andy. I feel like the two older names.
For sure.
Not a lot of people being born with those names now.
No, definitely not George. Dude.
Yeah.
The only person, the last George I knew, oh my God, was my ex's, my future father-in-law. But he was, 65 at the time. He's got to be in his mid-70s now.
It's probably the average age for a George.
Yeah. Randy was a popular name in the 50s.
Are you a Randy the second?
Just Randy. Not Randall, not Randolph, just Randy, and I'm the only one.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. It's a very unpopular name for men, except in Texas. I've never done a trip to Texas where I didn't meet another Randy.
That sounds, if I were to guess, the most densely populated place with Randys in the world would probably be Texas.
Yeah, I mean, it's full of steers and queers.
But I don't know.
Like fucking Full Metal Jacket,
I don't know if I know any other Randys.
I knew a hot chick in middle school named Randy. She spelled it with an IE. Yeah, she dated my buddy Alex for a little bit. But then he was super religious and never did anything about it, and she dumped him.
You don't want to be dumped by Randy, whether it's a guy or a girl named Randy.
Yeah, I wonder how many, now that I think of it, I wonder how many of the girls I've dated have dumped me versus me dumping them. It's probably pretty even. But what's been popular lately? Things just kind of drift away.
Ghost.
And not that you ghost them.
No,
just that kind of peters out.
Yeah.
Those might be the best. That might be the best way to break up, when it just slowly dies in a vine by itself. And all of a sudden, you guys just goes from 3 times a week to twice a week to once a week to once a month to just noticing she has a new boyfriend on Instagram. Yeah. That's the best.
Or a pandemic happens and just sorry,
and she dies.
Gotta go. Yeah, that helps too.
And the bitch dies of respiratory failure. It's pretty dark, George. You want your exes to be dead?
A terrible just death alone in the hospital, but you're off scot-free though. So
exactly.
That's pretty good.
Exactly.
I was
joking about that on stage. I was like, I should date girls in a cancer ward, so I can look like a good guy and I have a problem with commitment. It's pretty dark, but it's like, oh, well, Randy's such a nice guy. He dates all these stage 4 women. It's like, well,
and they're trying to have a good time before.
I'm like their adult Make-A-Wish.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're bald, baby. Let's do this shit.
Now, I heard about your corporate gig. Was this joke involved in the corporate gig? Talk about the corporate gig on the podcast?
Gig, that's right. I haven't talked about it. That was actually my first headline gig. Can you believe that? My first headline gig was a corporate. And they paid well. It was a Tempe Improv. Shout out to local group real estate in Arizona for having me. Kat Oh God, I'm drawing a blank on her name at the moment, but Kat's the best. Kat Barrett. Katrina Barrett is the best. 300 people at the Tempe Improv.
300 people.
Had Don Zolo open for me.
Yeah, that's how I knew about.
Old Donnie Zolo.
Don is going with Randy to.
Oh, he died and went to Republican heaven. I mean, that was like, I mean, he lives in Boston and he's been out here for the last 3 months, and that might have been his first set since we did Florida together like a year ago. That was in front of
where it's like a
home game. So he was a pig in shit. He was thrilled.
How
he didn't have to explain himself at all on stage.
Did you have to be clean though?
They hired me knowing full well what I do. So, So Katrina's friends with myself and Jeff, and she'd seen me at Jeff's show, and I'd done some writing for their online social media presence, and she was like, "Hey, would you want to do the Christmas show?" I'm like, "Yeah, that'd be great."
So, but you had never done what's the long
That was the longest I ever done. I did like 45, 50 minutes. I've done about 35, 40, but 35 before in Australia, but. And I didn't know, you get nervous. Do I have that much time? I had plenty of time.
Okay. Some crowd work, I could imagine.
Yeah, a little bit of crowd, but just all the bits that I do. Half the shit I do when I'm doing 15 minutes in front of Jeff can be twice as long because I just cut it down to the juicy bits and don't hit all the tags and just keep sort of get in, get out, move to the next piece of material. So that was I was nervous about that, but that was easier than I thought. Just getting through the time. It was more just getting comfortable with having that much time to stretch your legs. Like I'm so used to just fucking,
needing to hit.
Yeah, typically, I mean, even when I'm middling, it's 20, 25 minutes. And you got twice as much time to work up there. So it's the timing is different, and
you can let everything breathe a little bit more.
Yeah. You can kind of settle into it. Not so rushed.
Nice.
But how long you been at it, brother?
So I started doing stand up in 2019.
Oh, good. Right in time to take a long break.
I know.
Yeah, nothing like doing 8 weeks of comedy and then taking a year and a half off to really think about what you've done. Because I'm sure the last set you did wasn't great because you just started, but then you had to wait a year to do another one.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know how you are, but if I bomb, I want to go again right away because it can't be worse than that. You don't want to leave the gym on a missed free throw.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You want to
get back up.
Yeah, you want to hit your shot and leave. You feel so if you had a tough last set before COVID, it's like, oh fuck, I gotta wait until drive-in shows and people flicker their lights at me
until the Sacramento show with you.
Exactly. Or even worse, you do a Zoom show where you're sitting doing comedy in your kitchen and you get no reaction because it's on Zoom.
I didn't do any of those. Did you do any of those?
I did 2 and I regretted one of them.
Yeah.
The second one, terrible. The first one I was a corporate. I did someone's they had some fucking cocktails over the Zoom shit in the middle of the pandemic. And it was a German company. My buddy worked there. He was like, "Yeah, I told me you do comedy. Would you want to come on and, do 30 minutes for us, after for our happy hour thing?" And I'm like, he was like, do I have to be clean? He said, no. I said, all right.
That's the thing.
Yeah, it was a few $100, which is great, but I was sitting in my kitchen.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, well,
did you dress up for it?
No, I just sat at fucking, and he gave me a little bit of stuff on some of the people. It was like 30 people on there, and they all had their mics on, so I could hear them and talk with them. So that was a lot more crowd worky. It was almost like doing a live podcast. I knew a little bit about them, and would break their balls and shit like that. Yeah. And I did some material, so that was easier. The next one I did, and the last one I did was one. Jeff had done a show for Nowhere Comedy, one of the things that sprung up during the pandemic where they were doing it online, and the sound went out, so I couldn't hear any of them. Couldn't hear myself. Oof. So I just had to judge by their faces, and it was 300 people, and they would just cycle through. So some people had avatars, so I couldn't even tell. I was like this, and I'm just standing in Jeff's kitchen. I'm like, I'm never again.
Was Jeff right next to you too, or
I think sitting in the living room. Then he came up and did his time. Yeah, because it was me, Josh, Nelson, then Jeff.
Okay.
So he was just sitting in the living room watching.
See, and that's I hadn't been doing stand up long enough, whereas I felt the need to suffer through.
No, it's not worth it. It wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it.
But
outdoor shows were bad enough. I didn't do the drive-in show where they flick their lights at you or honk the horn. I didn't do that. But you do outdoor comedy at the park or whatever, and that's bad enough because the fucking windstorm. It wasn't dark enough a lot of times, in the summertime, whatever. It was wind. The sound just doesn't bounce anywhere. Laughter just dissipates when people are
people playing
spread out on the lawn. Oh, dude, I did one in Venice. We were on one half of the court, and they had a game going on in the other half. It's the ball would fly by you, and
half the crowd is this is actually a pretty good game.
They're gonna pass that back. Yeah. All right, there you go, buddy. It's fucking awful. So I definitely had to avoid that, but I'm glad the world's back.
Yeah.
How's it going for you? So you're about a year in total, I'd say here, because this year came back.
Yeah,
so you missed a couple of years.
It's kind of how I do that math. No, yeah, it's been going really well. Yeah, so I started out in New York, and
that's right, because you're from out here, right?
I'm from here, but
Okay.
I moved to New York, and I did like a class at the Comedy Cellar. It was like that's
nice.
That's when I was like, I need to do this, and I'm just gonna take a class at the Comedy Cellar. So then you have to do like the showcase.
Yeah,
at the end.
People shit on like sign up for class. Oh, you took a class, but it's just a way to get it. It's just a way to get it. It's like it's like if you hired a personal trainer, it makes you show up at the gym.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just so I don't have any excuses, and so I have a it's 8 weeks or 10-week class. And at the end of the class, I'm gonna have 5 minutes. I'm gonna do it at this show. Like, kind of sets you up for that. So I don't know why people think whatever gets you started.
No, and it was a great way to get started, and like, I guess kind of learn some. They gave us like a packet with joke structure. I don't know how much of that is.
Yeah,
I mean, very basic stuff. So I guess if you break every like yeah.
Yeah, I never took a comedy class like that, but I did take a writing seminar with a friend of mine who is a 15, 20-year comic in Boston who's been this woman who's a great writer, and I liked her writing style, and she was just always prepared. It was like I wanted to know less about because you can never write a joke in somebody else's. I mean, some comics can, but for your own act, you're going to write it in your own voice, and your material is going to come from your own headspace. But how did she prepare? What was her process for? I wanted to learn that kind of stuff. Does she have a structure? How does she file her act? How do you keep track of the things?
Organize everything.
Yeah. So I like that aspect of it. Like oh, here's some pointers on that. Of which I probably still only use 20% of it, but
that's still.
No, the thing is, as you go through, you'll see. And I'm no expert. I'm doing it 5 more years than you, but I've kind of figured out some things you can't. Some things you do want to force, and like I can't sit down and write and just all right, I'm going to write jokes today. I have to come up with ideas, and then I'll write out the full joke. Oh, that's a good idea. Let me write around that.
Yeah,
so
the same way.
It's hard for me to generate an idea sitting in front of pad and paper. But on my notepad, on my phone, my notes, I'll have a bunch of joke ideas and premises, and then I'll go back all right, how would I blow this out into a bit?
Yeah, that's what I do too. And I like to go to the library actually, and I go to the library.
Nice, you and the homeless people who like to jerk off in the warmth.
Libraries are disasters.
That's my thing. Dude, that was my thing about the whole drag queen story hour. And they're like, oh, you go to the library and a drag queen will read your kid a book. And I'm like, who the fuck is going to the library?
Yeah. A public library, there's nothing worse.
The homeless winos. That's who's there, dude. And people trying to get out of the cold.
It's so bad.
The rain that says,
there was
jerking off at the free internet access.
They're always doing the weirdest stuff on it. Maybe a couple weeks ago when I was there, some guy's on the phone. He's talking about having a vodka with Michael Douglas. I'm like, what the
at the library?
Yeah, he was talking to a guy on the phone at the library about some party he was at.
Okay.
And Michael Douglas was like, I'd like a couple of vodkas with Michael Douglas. He was talking so loud, and I was like, I'm gonna turn around and say something.
It's the library, dude. Shut the fuck up.
I turn around. And then he's wearing a glitter vest, has Joker paint on. It's I'm actually gonna take my bag and go sit somewhere else.
Yeah, you don't interact with that guy.
Yeah.
You do not interact with that fucking guy. I mean, to be fair though, the library does have a lot of good resources for fucking free, man. I heard you can get there's I think you get books on tape and shit. So they have somebody's telling me in LA, if you get a library card and sign up for their app, they have an app for the phone.
Oh, and they just have
any book on tape you can rent. Yeah. For but for it's a quarter or something like that. Which dude, books on tape cost fucking $12 a whack, or $15 a month for Audible. Just to get books for free on your phone.
The Glendale one has a museum in it, basically.
If you have a DVD player, you get DVDs still back in the old school shit.
That's the same way I felt my last semester in college, and I was like, whoa, there are so many cool things that I never took advantage. All these clubs and stuff.
I joined a fraternity and I drank most of them. Yeah. That was the sum total of my college experience. I mean, I did other stuff, traveled and met a bunch of interesting people, but I did not take advantage of I didn't go down to the chemistry lab and fuck around. I wasn't on the automotive. I didn't do any of that shit. I played a little rugby. I fucking drank with my fraternity brothers.
So you had a good time in college.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't use the facilities to their utmost.
Yeah.
I probably went to, if I'm being honest, probably 40% of my classes.
That's not a lot.
You don't have to go to a lot of class in college. But this is the big myth. The hardest, I've told anyone who listens, the hardest part about college is getting in. That's it.
Oh,
and it doesn't matter. I went to a great school. Doesn't matter what school you went to. Fucking Harvard is easy to graduate if you get in.
Yeah.
Getting in is really difficult. But if you get in, you're going to graduate, and you're going to graduate with a good GPA because they're not flunking anybody out. It looks bad on them.
Yeah. Did you when you would miss those classes, would they like hit you with the, well, you missed one class, that's like $3,000? They would
no. So Brown, the way it worked is you took 4 classes a semester. So you take 32 by the time you graduate. So it's not a credit system; it's classes. But 32 classes by the end of the time you graduated, and you have to pass 30 of them plus meet a major requirement. So you could fail 2 classes; it wouldn't matter.
Okay.
But you have to pass 30 and meet your major requirement. And within that 30, so it could range anywhere from 8 classes to 26 classes if you're like an engineer or whatever.
Yeah.
I think I did economics. I think I had like 11 core classes for economics, and then the other 29 I could do
just bullshit.
19 I could do whatever. Some of it was interesting. Like I took some cool biology classes that I enjoyed, cool sociology classes, and some of them were complete jerk off. Like
I took golf.
I took Russian literature. I didn't read a fucking single word of it. I took it because that's where all the football players knew you get an easy A.
Yeah,
you got on Russian because the teacher was an old crazy lady, and if you just like
she Russian?
Yeah, she was. So if you just like talked to her after class and went to office hours, she'd ace you because she'd like you, like you'd be sweet to an old Russian lady. She's like, oh,
like the
nice
Russian
boy,
doll.
A. Yeah, that was it. Fucking that's the Russian people. Their entire culture is Russian dolls. Yeah.
If you could boil it down to one thing, it's Russian dolls and bombing people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I got a bottle of vodka and a Russian doll, made her happy. But so classes like that were a joke. But in the economics classes, the reason you're able not to go to classes, it didn't matter. They were in lecture halls. They weren't taking attendance. It was 2 midterms and a final.
Yeah.
So if you get the syllabus and you go in the class before each of the midterms and the final, so I'd go 3 times. You ask any questions about like what to prepare for, like what section should we be prepared to cover for this exam, and then you cram all night, right? If everything's graded on a curve, so everyone else is fucking off too.
Yeah.
So like I got a 60.
Strength in numbers.
Yeah, I got a 61 in the exam, but the high was 72, so I got an A minus.
You're good. Then you're good.
Yeah, and you cruise out of there. So I'd show up for 3 classes a semester out of the you go twice a week, so like I said, 40%. And most of the classes I went to, the class I enjoyed. I went to less of my classes in my major than I did go to sociology classes because I enjoyed those. I like the reading. The professors were like world-renowned and awesome. It was engaging. It was fun.
Did it ever make you reconsider your major then?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I did it for a job. You major in economics not because you like it. You do it because you want to work in banking. Now, listen, if everyone did what they enjoyed, we'd only be artists. There's not a lot of people out there that are dying to get into accounting. It's just money to be made, and they could stomach the work. And then there are some people who really get into it, which is always fascinating.
Those are like the weird people.
Well, yeah. I mean, I kind of look at them the way I look at like furries. Or the people that go to Comic-Con.
I like this.
Like if you're like oh, your kink is
it's almost
tax
cool
law.
to be that into something.
No, your kink is tax law. You little weirdo freak. Go over there and play that. But most people want to be the pro athlete or the movie star.
Yeah.
This fucking nerd wants to move a slide rule around. All right, have your fun with the other weirdos in the sex dungeon. While the people who just want money for money's sake do this other work. But that's the thing. Like I had a boss like that. My previous boss was like a mentor to me. He was super into. I was in finances and private equity, and he was really into it and really good at it. And I was like, man, I should do what I like. I should find what I enjoy as much as he enjoys doing that.
Yeah.
Like it inspired me to not do what I used to because I was good at it and it was engaging and challenging, but it wasn't what I would do if I wasn't paid handsomely.
Yeah.
Whereas comedy, obviously, you start out paying money to do it.
Yeah.
Your wasted time and fucking gas money going to gigs and all this shit. But I like doing it.
Yeah.
So the goal is to find something you could stand to do and get paid well for it. That's the goal in life, I think.
I did. I was like my first job out of college. I did finance too, and I was the same.
Did you do
thing.
brokerage?
Yeah, fixed income sales.
Oh, nice. That's right. What firm?
D.A. Davidson.
Okay, legit firm out here in California.
Yeah. And then
I was gonna say you give me some fucking bullshit sweatshop.
Northwestern Mutual. Schlepping insurance.
Yeah, some bullshit fucking. I work at Cafe Bank. All right.
Annuities are great.
Yeah, fucking South Valley Credit Union. All right.
No, it was legit, and I remember like same thing how you said. Like I went out. Like there were some younger guys around my age who I like got to know who worked at like Credit Suisse and like Goldman and JP Morgan. We'd go out and stuff, and they'd still be like talking about work stuff or like finance shit. And like we're so into it, and I was like, I completely checked out of that as soon as I left off.
Yeah.
Like I'm not.
I couldn't wait to go home and smoke pot and not think about it.
And that was around the same time.
I could not wait to do that.
That was around the same time that I like started doing the content. I was like, this is like That's when I knew I was like, okay, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Get
How long were you How long were you doing fixed income sales?
2 years.
Okay, so you finished the 2-year analyst program.
I was no, I went straight into being a salesman.
Oh yeah, but I'm saying, don't they start you out like? So I know like in investment banking, at least in New York, and I think that's how it. The titles might be different, but in sales and trading than it is in investment banking. But it's like analyst, associate, vice president, principal, partner, or managing director, and they would hire. Like when I got hired at the Citigroup, it was me and 110 other kids. And it was like a class of analysts.
Yeah.
And we descended. Every year you descend on the bank in waves of these, It was almost kind of like, it's like college part 2 in some senses. I remember like my second year, as a first year analyst, like you're the freshman coming in.
Yeah.
And as a second year analyst, like, let's see if there's any hot girls in the first year analyst class. I mean, that's what it turned into, which of course there were like 3 because, Wall Street isn't notorious for hiring a lot of chicks. And also women don't like to go into it.
They don't like to go into it?
No. That's one of the things I feel like with, Feminism 2.0 misses is that like, they need to be equally represented in every profession. It's like, well, that's not true if women don't want to do it. There's a reason why women go into nursing because they want to help people and men don't.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why men go into mining, and women don't because it's a miserable job. Like it's just, there's certain professions that people's personality traits and your, not even your birth gender, we'll get to that later. The gender you identify with is just not into that kind of thing. Like I'm not into, nursing kids, so I'm not going to work at a nursery school.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like guys aren't, guys will roof before they want to take care of a class.
And then when you have a friend who is a nurse, you make fun of him.
Yeah, Greg's a male nurse. Which is one of the best lines in cinema. It's such a good thing, yeah. Greg, he's a male nurse.
That's a great movie.
Oh, dude. Yeah, man. Ben Stiller has had some great ones and had some ones that were way off.
Speaking of miners, Zoolander. Miners, yeah.
Miners.
Like his family were his like dad and brother were like miners.
Oh yeah. Minor roles. I mean, dude, I feel like Tropic Thunder. It's such a good movie, and it goes so under the radar, especially now because Robert Downey Jr. came out of blackface, which was hilarious. I mean, it did a good job.
Tom Cruise is in it.
And
Matthew McConaughey.
That's what I was about to say. The best scene in that movie, Tom Cruise. As Les Grossman, he steals the show when he's fucking when he reams out that the tiger, the flying dragon fucking guy.
Yeah.
He's like, I will skull fuck you. Hangs the phone. Find out who that was. he just berates the guy for like a 10-minute monologue. Hangs up the phone. Find out who that was.
Dude,
dude, did you hear? You probably didn't because they fucking canned it. But apparently, Jamie Foxx made his directorial debut. They shot the movie. They shot it like in 2018. And I forget the premise of the movie, but there was a role in it where there was a guy, like a Mexican character, and he saw Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder and thought it was so funny. He's like, hey, would you want to play a Mexican in my movie? And he's like, yeah. So you got Jamie Foxx starring in and directing his own movie, and he's directing Robert Downey Jr. playing a Mexican. And the movie studio fucking shelved it because it's, times have changed. And you can't even make that kind of joke anymore. But it's a shame. It's like it's like one of those things like, if somebody could just get their hands on that and release it.
So they did.
They shot the whole fucking thing. It's in the can. They just shelved it. They paid everyone got paid. The studio said we don't want to, which is crazy.
We gotta. That's gotta be like the next Indiana Jones is him going through the archives finding that.
Just race baiting Indiana Jones. No, dude, I think they should do it like. Remember that kid Martin Shkreli who bought the Wu-Tang album? Like the Wu-Tang made an album where there's only one copy of it, and Martin Shkreli, the farmer bro, he was the guy who like bought that pharmaceutical. He owned a hedge fund. He bought a pharmaceutical company and jacked up the price of their AIDS drug.
I knew that name. Yeah,
he was like the most hated man in America.
Yeah.
So while he was doing all that, he paid like fucking $8 million for a one-of-a-kind original Wu-Tang LP that has all unreleased songs. There's only one copy, just this one. He paid like whatever $7 million at auction for it. They should sell Jamie Foxx's movie that's unreleased like that. So like Elon Musk could buy it and he just puts it on YouTube.
Or he fucking
Elon Musk, do that, dude.
Yeah,
do that.
Get off Twitter. We don't. I don't even really use Twitter actually.
Yeah. What are your views on Elon? Everyone seems to have a fucking opinion on this guy, like they know the man. Elon. You're not a Twitter user, so
I'm not a Twitter user. I don't really mind Elon Musk. I got him freaked out by the Neuralink thing. I don't want that.
That's the one. Thank you, fucking like George. Fucking praise Jesus. Like, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
It's like everyone's worried about getting chipped with the vaccine. But then they're going to be okay with Elon Musk putting something in their fucking skull. It's like
I'm not down for that.
Yeah, I'm not down with any of it.
And I don't care how cool it makes me. I'm not going to trust it.
That's the right answer, because he's convinced, just like Tesla, like no one bought electric cars so they gave a shit about the environment. They bought it because now Tesla's cool.
Yeah, exactly.
So Elon's like, hey, if I make it cool to put a chip in your brain, all these assholes will buy it. That just like Apple computer. Samsung phones are actually better phones, but the Apple's cool. Yeah, it's not a blue text message. You got to get the Apple.
Yeah,
you just got to make it cool.
So that's the thing. Like there are things I see that Elon does. I'm like, oh, that's funny. Because most of the things I'm just in it if it's funny, like you can get me, you can hook me there. I'm like, oh, this is funny, or I like that he did this or said that. But then it's always in the back of my mind, he wants to fucking put chips in.
Yeah, see, my whole thing with him on Twitter, I mean, you're right about the Neuralink thing, that's weird. But my thing with him buying Twitter, like, I don't give a shit either way. He wants to blow $44 million on the worst social media app known to man.
Dude,
fucking
it's the worst.
Knock yourself out, man.
Yeah.
Pissing your money away. But even if he makes it work, I think it's like a distraction. It's like this guy, ostensibly, everyone says, the smartest man in the world. No, he's the richest man in the world. The smartest man in the world is someone else. Yeah. But he's definitely a very talented, very high-achieving man. He got us to get electric cars and made them cool, right? He fucking getting us into space. The fucking guy and invented PayPal. It's like, instead of wasting your time on Twitter like a fucking 17-year-old girl on social media, shouldn't he be like trying to fucking figure out AI?
Yeah.
Or like, getting us off of foreign oil? Something more productive.
What's the end game?
Than dicking around on Twitter, dude. It's like, stop. A talented man is wasting billions of dollars and his time that could be better spent somewhere else. Fucking having Twitter beefs with everybody on the planet right now.
That's how much it means to him to own the libtards.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing about it. I think I've looked at his purchase of that the way Jeff Bezos bought the Washington Post. It's just a billionaire buying a media outlet to have a channel for his narrative.
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos doesn't care about journalism. He bought that paper because he wants to say, I own a newspaper. It's another showpiece, another feather in his cap. Elon Musk wants to get into social media, so he bought the cheapest social media platform available. If he could have bought TikTok, he would have. And in fact, he didn't even want to buy Twitter. He tried to back out of it. At the end, they made him buy it.
I didn't know that happened.
Yeah.
Well, why did he want to back out? Was he like, oh shit?
Because he signed the definitive agreement, but they had like a bust-up fee of like $1 billion. And his argument was, there's too many fake accounts in there, the bots. But that didn't matter. He signed the definitive agreement to purchase it. So like, either you pay up the breakup fee, or we're going to sue you to force you to buy the company. So he said, all right, I'll
just buy it.
I'll buy the company. Yeah.
Twitter was just bluffing the whole time. They're like, please fucking buy
that's a funny thing.
like,
they fired the CEO and all this shit, but they got $100 million pay packages. And Elon tried to say it was for termination, but they're going to sue and get their money. I mean, it's ironclad contracts.
And they weren't they, or wasn't a whole thing like right after? They're like, oh, he's making us like, where we have to like sleep in sleeping bags and stuff. Like, and
he fired half the people there, which was funny because he fired so many people that some of the people he realized he needed back. So he called. I swear to God, like, oh shit, I needed that guy. So he had to like hire the guy back at a higher salary. You fucking idiot. He did it to himself. He's like, oh shit. He literally took a list. All right, half of them go. No, wait, I need those people.
I'm for that. I'm pro that.
Well, dude, to be fair to Elon, WhatsApp has 1 billion users and it has 100 employees. Twitter has 500 million and it had 7,500. So I think you can run the Twitter platform at less people. I don't know how many of the people are critical or not that he fired. I mean, obviously, he just took a fucking axe to the place and then realized, oh, wait, I needed some of those people to come back.
Whoever was suppressing the Hunter Biden story. That's the most important.
The most bullshit. Yeah. Like I could get, it's very funny. I'm glad they're reporting on it because it's hilarious. Have you seen the photos of him?
Of Hunter Biden?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude.
Did you see, this was debunked, but it was funny. It was like...
Yeah, see, even if stuff is debunked, if I like it, I keep saying it's true. I persist.
But it was like, there was like supposedly like, what's the Obama daughter's name or something?
Malia, and then the other one?
Yeah, it was like, you could see like in a reflection, like her credit card was like on a table with like cocaine or something.
Nice.
I saw it on the conspiracy Reddit, and apparently, like I don't look...
Surprise, a college girl doing cocaine. Yeah. What are the odds? Yeah. I've never seen that.
But with the vice or president's son,
with Hunter Biden,
it was like supposedly with Hunter Biden. And I was like, this is funny.
And to be fair to Hunter Biden, if my dad was president, I'd be kind of a piece of shit too.
Yeah. Like,
if I can get away with it, Why not?
If you could get on a Ukrainian energy board, like why wouldn't you?
Dude, and that's what surprised me, how little they steal. Like, I think he was getting like $700,000 a year.
You could have done a little more.
Well, he's the president's son. It's like, I wouldn't take the meeting for less than $1 million. You know, I mean, like, the president is my dad. I think it's worth a little more than $700,000 a year. You know, like, it's embarrassing when, like, you know, when a Mexican, you know, like a regional Mexican police captain gets more from drug lords than you can get from international. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, what? You know, El Chapo's paying more to local cops than Hunter Biden would have before. He's like a fucking suitcase pimp.
What do you think would be the best, like of all those, you know, corrupt countries, China, Ukraine, Russia, U.S., which one would be the best one to be like in? Like in like the...
In the Illuminati, in the circle.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, the United States is top dog. Outside of the U.S., see, that's the thing about democracy. You're better off being a robber baron in a democracy than in a dictatorship or an authoritative government because of all the backstabbing. Like, if you get too high, like Putin's got a lot of fucking, you know, bodies. The guns are out. You know, he's getting old. Yeah. That Prigozhin guy's stepping up now. Like, you know, they wanted Caesar had get stabbed in the back.
Yeah,
you know, like Xi Jinping has to kill his enemies every day to stay alive.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
Like,
a
lot of work.
Yeah, I mean, like the Clintons are famous for killing their enemies when they didn't need to. You know?
Yeah, they just get ahead of it.
Like, why are you killing me? You don't even need to get ready. It's legal here to take the money. You know, like this is not, you know, it's called lobbying, asshole. Like, but you know, I would probably say, where would I want to be king? Basically, maybe Australia.
That would be nice.
Australia, New Zealand. You know.
But they're like pretty, or I guess if you are, because they like lock down.
South American countries are good too, dude. Yeah. You know, but see, that's the thing. Down there, you got to be like a ruthless warlord.
Yeah, you get another drug industry down there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think I asked Don this. If you could be dictator, would you want to be? If you could be dictator of the United States, would you want to be?
Heavy lies the crown.
That I said no. I said, dude, being president's awful. Imagine being supreme leader. Pff, yeah, it's fuck that, dude. Like. You know, that's what being number 2 is always good.
It could be the movie, The Dictator, did make it look fun though.
Yeah, dude, it's fun until you have to kill your siblings so they don't kill you. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what it's. I mean, fucking what's his name from North Korea? Fucking Little Kim. You know, he fucking maced his brother in an airport and killed him, dude. Like,
yeah, he like fucking tied his uncle down and just like bomb squatted him.
Yeah, well, see, now even he has to worry because he's bringing his daughter around, who's like moving up in the ranks. But if she gets too popular, like, I mean, look at Donald Trump. I mean, he's trying to be a quasi-dictator. He has to fire his own friends, dude.
Yeah.
He gets annoyed that his son-in-law is getting more pub than him. It's like, calm down. You're still the big dog. You're still the big orange man. Everyone knows your boss. You know, relax a little bit. I mean, he would have fired Mike Pence if he could have. Yeah. He fired everyone else in his cabinet. You know, like he couldn't get. Like if anyone got a little shine.
Can you fire the vice president?
No, he's elected. I looked at that. You can't.
All right, so he would have.
He's elected on the ticket with you. So okay. He can be replaced after. Like the next time you run, you can not have him on the ticket. Yeah. But once he's in, you can't. Which is interesting because I never thought about it. I had to look that up myself. Can you fire the vice president?
I feel like he should be able to.
But
yeah, I guess I guess if you elect,
I wonder, and I think there might be in the Constitution or in the bylaws somewhere. I got to look it up. But I feel like if you, I feel like in every elected office, if you get enough signatures, like you could start like a recall election and get enough signatures to throw somebody out. Like no matter like at any point in time, I feel like if you can get like 3/4 of the U.S. population to vote to recall the president, and then they've had the vote to recall him and they recall him, he should be fucking out instantly. I feel like it's too like we wait too long letting these people fuck up too much before there's got to be a quick way to get him out.
Yeah, you know? Like we recalled Newsom and then
he's back.
Now he's back. How can you almost be fired and like have it go to a vote, barely get it, and then get elected again?
Dude, I'll say this about Gavin Newsom. People give Donald Trump shit about his hair. What the fuck's up with Gavin Newsom's?
I think
he looks like Mr. Fantastic with this, and it's just so slick. Like it looks like a plastic Lego.
If anyone's a lizard, it would have to be him.
Just drinking the blood of infants.
The sharp features and stuff. Yeah, dude, but he good looking guy though.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's what he got going for him. He might be the best looking Democrat there is out there, which goes a long way, you know.
Well, there is Fetterman.
Fetterman's a looker. I bet, dude, a guy like that gets a lot of pussy in central Iowa. He looks like he works in a coal mine, dude.
Yeah.
Which is funny because he's like a ne'er-do-well. I think he went to like Princeton or some shit.
Yeah, his dad was like
some big
government guy, or something big in Pennsylvania.
Some big shot in Pennsylvania, which is funny. Like he just grew the goatee and plays the part.
Yeah.
That'd be like me, like getting a teardrop tattoo and walking into prison like I'm Mark. It's like, bro, you can't, Like, I put on a sweatshirt and grew out a goatee. Aren't I such a normal guy?
Now that I would like to see.
A goatee, shave my head. I'd look ugly with a shaved head. Thank God I'm keeping most of this for right now.
You could be like infiltrating the ghetto is like a YouTube
infiltrating
title for sure.
the ghetto.
Yeah.
It's like some weird Chris Hansen shit. I'm looking for black people to see if
dude, but you could get away with anything on YouTube, like or anything, not just if you have a camera with you. You can get away with anything.
Well, who was that guy? There was a guy who used to like pranking people, like he'd like scare them.
Vitaly, or
yes,
yeah, Vitaly,
and then he'd go into the hood, and sometimes they'd fucking run after him. You're like, oh shit,
dude, that guy was like, I watched a lot of his videos when.
Yeah, I mean, 26. So let's see, how old are you when? What year was it when you were when you entered high school?
2010. Yeah.
Jesus, I'd been graduated from college for 5 years already.
Yeah, you were deep in finance at the time.
Oh my God, yeah, I was. Yeah, it was ridiculous. But all right, so in 2010, so you had Instagram your entire high school career.
I got Instagram.
I mean, it existed, right?
Yeah. Or
like,
high school career. Yeah, I think so.
Were the dating apps out? Like, were you in college? The dating apps were already live.
Senior year of high school, those came out, and me and all my friends made them, and my thing,
and still got no pussy.
Yeah, you could.
No pussy's getting crew.
I had because I think it was that fall of my senior year of high school. USC beat Stanford, and like a big up. Stanford had like Andrew Luck or something. We beat
you
them.
went to USC?
Yeah,
okay.
And we stormed the field. But so I was a senior in high school. We stormed the field. So I got like pictures with like USC football players on the field, and I was wearing a USC Letterman jacket. And like when I first made Tinder, as like at 17 in high school, I put all those pictures on. It was like USC football commit, and everyone fell for it.
That's great.
When I was 17, I wasn't like meeting up with anyone, but it was like I had to have like a whole backup story. Yeah. All the dudes were like, "Dude, you're sick, you're a
bro."
Yeah,
I'll go out for coffee with you. Fuck you, dude. But you didn't play at all. Your brother did, though, right?
Yeah, my brother's on the Broncos.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. What's it like being the second favorite child?
Dude, it's honestly.
how many of them are you? Like how many siblings? Just two of you?
There's 4 of us. I'm definitely the second favorite.
Okay, and what? You the middle, oldest?
I am the second oldest. Sister.
So you're the middle.
Sister.
Oh,
me,
so your brother's a football player, the younger one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sister, younger brother. We're all 2 years apart.
Yeah. Did you not play ball?
I played in high school. I wasn't good like him.
What do you think? What do you test that to? Like, is he just more athletically gifted, or did he just bust his ass? 'Cause, I mean, you guys are, the fact that I want to be a drunken comedian, Randy.
Yeah.
You had a job that you didn't like.
Yeah. And that's why he doesn't.
You play same position?
I played. In high school he was a receiver, and then he transitioned to tight end. He plays.
He transitioned to a woman.
Yeah.
So now he's fighting the UFC and beating these bitches up, son.
But having a brother in the NFL is like the coolest.
Yeah,
thing.
I mean, beats not having a brother in NFL.
Yeah, you get all like.
Get all the free gear.
A lot of the
none of the money.
Yeah, none of them. So not all of them.
What round was he drafted in?
But third round. Third or.
So he got a 2-3 year deal. He's got
4. I think it was 3 or no, maybe 4.
Yeah, Denver's a cool town. I mean, fuck, dude. He could. Obviously, Buffalo's a good team, but it's a shit city to live in. He could end up, anywhere else.
We were like Denver was high up on, whereas like we heard they're interested in him, and it's like where we would like him to go. Because there were some, like the Browns were interested too, and we're like, oh, like please don't.
Oh God, yeah, the career goes
It was the third. It was the third round. I'm pretty sure it was drafted in the third round. Or maybe it was a third round, and it was the draft. We thought the Broncos were going to pick him in the last pick of the second round because we had heard the Broncos were really
did they call you up to calls?
Yeah.
Like, hey, we have interest in him. If he's available in round 3, we'll get him.
Yeah. And then, but then in like 3 picks in a row, I think it was like the Colts, the Browns, and then the Broncos. How to get to the Broncos? And then after the Broncos was Chargers, and it was like, there's no way he's going. Like one of these 4 teams are going to pick him.
Yeah.
But you have to get through Indianapolis and Cleveland first.
The Rust Belt.
Yeah. And the Colts picked a tight end who was like ranked lower than Greg. but they picked him ahead of Greg, like one spot before, or maybe 2 spots before, whatever. But he was like, I don't care that he got picked before me. I'm happy to be going to Denver. Like right now, I'd rather like a fit is like such a, you don't want to be stuck on like. I mean, sure, the Broncos aren't good this year, but still, like historically, like a good franchise.
No, you also
like,
want to get playing time to get your money up.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
like you get live reps, right? You have a fucking resume to build on. But like, what did he run his 40 in? Is he a fast guy, or is he more of a?
I think it was like 4.7 or 4.6, something like that. Right. There's like some.
But he's starting though, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
At the combine, there was like some weird stuff that happened with his timing.
The whole combine is kind of weird. Like, it's a little bit of a meat market, and what's weird about it is how they televise it now. I mean, like
in what way? Or
it's like the fact that it's like a fucking 4-day event on ESPN. That guys are watching the draft.
Yeah,
dude, it's like it's
you're watching a guy get his wingspan.
It's like fucking Bill Burr said it. I think it was Bill Burr. He's like, it's like going to a person's graduation who you don't know. You know, why would you sit through that? Like, just wait until they start playing. Like, fucking, like you'll see what they're made of when they, week 1.
Most or like. Yeah, probably I'd say like 80% of those guys know it. Like you don't know, like even like
dude. I mean, that's the thing. Like that's why I asked about how your brother's doing now, because like you get drafted high, and like if you get drafted high, it shows you have more talent, more ability. But whether or not you're gonna fucking make it, I mean, it's a crap. I mean, dude, God forbid, you could have a fucking career-ending injury first time on the field. You know, who knows what's gonna happen, especially in that sport.
Well, he was injured for the first five games. He didn't play, and then his first game was in LA against the Chargers at SoFi. So we went. He scored. His first catch ever was a touchdown, which was sick.
Nice.
But I have his jersey, and like before that, like people, if you were a Broncos fan, you knew who he was because you drafted him and stuff, or because they drafted him. But I was wearing a Dulcich jersey, and it was like right after he scored a touchdown, I went to take a piss, and everyone's like, "How do you have that jersey already?" He's like, "Oh, he's my brother."
I'm fucking him. He's my boyfriend. What? Oh, you didn't know? He's openly gay.
Yeah.
He's the second openly gay NFL player.
We recreated the Michael Sam cake thing, but they didn't air that for us. Yeah. But people were asking me for pictures just because I was his brother. Yeah.
You able to still give him shit even though he's a big shot NFL player now? I mean, you're still big brother, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Give him a hard time. Yeah. Dude, another thing is people always like. I get why people ask it. They're always like, what's this like as like
well, because there's so few NFL players.
Exactly, but it's like I also like I asked my brother about things, but like I also like 90% of our conversations are like sending memes back and forth. They're talking about like Star Wars or like
whatever you guys talked about before you got in the NFL.
Yeah, exactly. So I get why people ask it, and I never like get annoyed by it really, but it's just like. I've never well,
because that's the thing. Nobody knows any NFL players. Like, I knew a couple, and I was like, oh, that was cool. But like, what again, like, other than that, like, what? There's nothing for me. You know, I'm looking at anything.
I also never really because I don't really know what to say.
Let me ask you real quick. What's the pussy like? No. Is it just coming in waves in Denver? I mean, you're a good-looking guy. Your brother must be a good-looking guy. I mean, he's young. He's got bread. He's playing on TV. I'm sure.
He's a girlfriend right now.
What an idiot. What's his name?
Greg.
Dumper. Dumper. If she loves you, she'll come back when you're done.
Nice. She's nice.
I'm sure she's lovely, but come on, Greg. You can't beat new.
You can't.
It's tough to compete with new. You'll learn that. Wait till you're in your 6th, 7th season, and the young buck coming up behind you. You know, they drafted a tight end in the 2nd round in 2026. You'll see what new feels like.
I think I do think she slid into his DMs though. I don't.
Did you meet her after he got his NFL or before?
Before or I think she's
he was a prospect.
Did
he play USC too?
She went to UCLA.
Okay.
UCLA. I think she went to Cal or something.
And
then he was at UCLA, and I think they started talking then, but they didn't start dating until he was like doing combine stuff.
Yeah. See, that's man. I can only. I mean, obviously, I hope to be moderately famous someday. I don't need to be fucking. Your big boss over there.
Yeah.
But I'd like to have my own little following.
What do you think is a good level of fame? Like,
I've always said the money's better than the fame, and I've had not this argument, but I had this debate with Jeff. He's like, I'll take the fame. I'm like, why? He's like, because you can always get money if you're famous. And I'm like, yeah, but if you have the money, who gives a fuck about being famous? Like,
yeah.
But my history is, I've spent more time in banking. Those guys are way richer than anybody out here.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like they own the studio. The jerk off actors are fucking. They buy them. One of my person I know paid Flo Rida and like fucking who was it, like Gwen Stefani to perform at his wedding.
That's
like,
you know what I'm saying? That's wild.
Those are Wall Street. Those are the big money guys.
Yeah.
And I see them like, you don't even know who the fuck, Steve Cohen could walk right by here and no one would know he's worth more than everyone else in Hollywood. But
you're a comic though, so you do want fame and recognition.
Well, I want my fame and recognition to be good at what I do.
Yeah.
But I want the money, and I want the freedom that it comes with. That's what I love about being a comedian. Like, if you can be, like I said, if I just did 40 weekends a year headlining on the road, right, and had a little podcast, I'd make a couple $300,000 a year, and
that's pretty nice.
And they're all my fans.
Yeah.
No, I can't be fired from being me.
Yeah.
I have all my days to myself. All I gotta do is this podcast and bullshit with my friends and go tell dick jokes at night. Like the freedom and the lifestyle that I enjoy. So I don't need to be Kevin Hart to be happy in this. I just need to make money doing comedy to be happy in this. If I can pay for a 1-bedroom apartment and pay off my car and put away a little bit for retirement, everything above that's gravy. It's gravy for me. Yeah. So I don't want to be famous. I want to be right. Like when the audience laughs, it's because I made them think like I thought. Like their laughter is like a confirmation to me. So it's not like I don't necessarily want to be liked. I don't care if the audience likes me. I want them to laugh because I'm right. If they're laughing, that what I said was.
If you can make the person who normally won't agree with you laugh, then
exactly. Yeah. So I have a little bit more adversarial relationship with most audiences.
Yeah.
Because I like when they turn away, when they groan, and then I get them to laugh. Like I want to take them through that sort of emotional ride. But
I've only seen I've only seen you do stand up that one
Sacramento
inside, but I got that's your style.
Yeah.
Whereas me, I'm pretty like.
Yeah, Jeff
nice
Miles wants to be liked.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck if they hate me. They're gonna laugh. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's hard. It's harder way to do it.
Yeah, but it is. But that's also just the way I write. And if I tried to soft pedal it, like if I told my jokes without the force that I tell them with, they're not gonna land because I'm gonna sound scared. I'm gonna sound like I'm afraid to say what I'm saying, and then the crowd gets in there. I've always said this. In my experience, the crowd is kind of like a hot chick at a bar. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. The conviction with what you have. It's called congruence. If you believe what you say and you say it with conviction, you deliver the punchline with emphasis, it's going to work better than tepidly, stepping onto the punchline for my kind of writing, for my style of comedy. So, there is a performance to it. And I'm not being disingenuous about myself. It's just finding the right cadence for what I'm trying to deliver. So it's like I said, it's not that I'm trying to get them to be Mr. Likeable.
You're not trying to be like the shock jock guy. It's just the way it.
Yeah, exactly. Because like I said, even the stuff that's not. I consider all my acts without saying a fucker or shit. The topic of conversation is wildly outlandish. I'm trashing women. I'm trashing myself. I'm trashing my father. Like it's just horrible things you wouldn't normally do. I'm talking about my sister's love life. Things you wouldn't normally want to do.
Which you're an expert on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Things you wouldn't normally want to do in polite conversation, but it's funny to me. But like Jeff's more likable. Like, I'm not that likable. So but I have something to say, and I got to find a way to make him laugh. So that's where the adversarial nature comes in. But your style's different. Like you're more, and I watch you, you're a funny guy, and you're more. I don't know. Like I could see you doing a lot more late night sets than me. Like I'm not going to be on the Tonight Show. I'm not doing a Tonight Show. You know what I'm saying? Like if I do the Tonight Show, it's because I'm already famous.
I can do.
But I can see you getting a Conan spot.
I'm pretty clean.
Like Conan's still available.
Yeah. How do you get those?
You got to submit, I guess, and got to see you. It's one of those fucking things.
Yeah. Have you? But you've never done like that, or
I've only done a couple even festivals because I'm not like I'm a club comic. Like I thank God Jeff plucked me out of obscurity 18 months into doing comedy. I do.
Yeah. I saw
traditional club comedy.
There was a festival or competition,
Big Pine
festival or competition where something I was looking at, and I looked at recent you were on it.
Big Pine.
Yes, Big Pine.
Big Pine. It's a good festival. Yeah, shout out to Casey and Hillary who run that.
How was that?
Oh, it was awesome. It was a good time. That's one where I know the people who produce it, and they know my style of comedy, and they had a whole mix of people there, but some of these comedy competitions or comedy festivals, it's like, the fucking Woke Comedy Hour. It's like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah. Well,
no one's inviting Uncle Randy to that one.
You can look, sometimes it's top, maybe it was Variety or Vanity Magazine or something.
Oh, Vanyaland.
Someone posted a 20 hottest comics of maybe it was 2021. It was every single one of them it was like a woke comic, and I was like, are these really like the 20 hottest comics in the U.S.
Yeah,
right now? Or is, like,
that's the thing a lot about it too. Like,
and I don't mean to sound like bitter that I'm.
No. It's traditional Hollywood. There's still some of that. Like people just select whoever's, the hot thing going.
Yeah.
Like there's like it goes in cycles. Like they wanted women. They want the Asian comics when they stopped Asian hate thing. They were making that fucking crazy rich Asians movie. Like there's cycles that go on in that. Thank God for the internet because there's a little more democratization where like you could be out of what's popular in the critical mainstream or in Hollywood and still make a living.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Tim Dillon's not, what you would call mainstream. He's just fucking really funny and got really popular. Now he's become mainstream because he's so good at it. But like, no one was picking him to be the guy. He just was funny enough that he became the guy. So you have that avenue. Whereas back in, fucking when Jeff started, he had to get a fucking TV to get moved. He didn't come down here without Raw. He got passed in Seattle for Last Comic Stand, and then came down here and got himself to the finals. And then he got the Hollywood. But he had
it was a Hollywood.
There was no fucking YouTube room to make a following of his own up there. So
like I see people or there are comics who are like I do like Mike's and stuff with or like my level, and it's like, dude, they post reels of their sets, and it's like you can get like 40, 50,000 plays easy, like. Some people just blow, like it's weird, and I work in social media, and just some things just blow up.
That's the one thing I haven't cracked. Like why? Like some of them I can see why the sets.
Do you post a lot of stand-up stuff though?
No, I don't do a lot of my stand-up stuff. I have a bunch. I haven't cut them up, but it's weird. Like people have been conditioned to like what I do on Instagram now. Like the memes. Yeah. And so like even when I post videos of podcasts, the fucking super funny clips, it doesn't get as much. Like people just get fucking conditioned, and not that they dislike it. But they haven't. And also, dude, I'm not a fucking AV guy. I'm also not Jeff paying, or Brendan paying whatever it is to to have a staff to fucking cut up my clips. I'd have to go in and fucking figure out whatever Final Cut and cut all this shit up myself. That's why I use this studio. Like I used to fucking record it in my apartment. Like I have to set up, break down, dude. I'm not doing this.
This makes it way.
I want to. It costs me money, but like I want to focus on doing this. And not setting all this shit up, and cutting it up. Yeah, it's bad enough. I gotta cut the clips myself. Like, fucking, it's like I'm gonna go do my stand up, cutting clips every night. I'm gonna be cutting clips while I'm doing stand up.
Is any of the not posting the stand up stuff like you don't want to like burn anything? And, like
some of it's that, but I have enough time there where I can put some of it out. And also, I mean, Jeff repeats some of his like not everyone repeats your jokes all the time. Like but and also a lot of it too is I'm fucking getting in a lot of trouble on Instagram already, man. My stand up's worse than than the shit I post on, like you know what I'm saying.
Are you have violations?
I'm in trouble right now, dude. I'm fucking shadow banned until February 23rd. So if you guys are listening, please follow me and share my shit.
I'm seeing your posts though. I'm seeing.
Yeah, thank
you're
God.
coming up on my feed.
Thank God.
Yeah.
But I got flagged for reposting somebody else's meme. It was a picture of Skeletor and then some text jokes.
Yeah.
But they got somehow flagged for nudity, and I requested a review, and it's under review, but it haven't resolved it yet. It's been 3 weeks.
Dude, they're like the worst.
I'm sure because you have to deal with other people's social media. I'm sure
I've had to I've gotten like copyrighted like reposting like UFC fight footage and stuff, and they took away like not on Brendan's account but on the Thick Boy account, they took away our like ability to collab.
I can't collab right now. It's killing me.
Like what the fuck?
It's killing me. I can't collab posts. It's
on your personal or on this one or personal?
Personal.
Okay.
I'm Randy Valerio. I can't.
That sucks. It sucks. Yeah.
Well, so it's weird too because like you would think. So I was talking about this with Jeff off the air. Just call balls. I don't know what a ball and what a strike is anymore. Like there was they flagged me for nudity, but it was just a photo of Skeletor from fucking Thundercats and text with a joke. There was no swear words in the fucking text. And I
wonder what that was.
And I reposted from another cat. That's the thing. I don't know. Like, and I've been self-censoring because I'm knowing how tight the censors are. And I still got pinched for that. I'm like, well, that was a clear ball to me when you called it a strike. That's not. Yeah. I mean, they threw it to first base and I'm out. Like, what the fuck? Like, how the fuck is that possible? Like, I don't get it.
We need Elon to buy that.
Yeah, you can't afford it.
And then because you have to, how often, because you do Twitter also, right?
Well, yeah, so I started the Twitter account just so I could post on Instagram.
Okay.
So I posted,
and you'll take the screenshots
I posted a few
of
jokes
the funny
and meme
stuff.
accounts reach out to me like, we like this stuff, but Insta-Single in particular, shout out Rosario, he's like, yeah, it's funny stuff, and I repost it, but just clean it, just do it like a clean white background format because I have this kind of format going. was like, oh, like a Twitter thing? He's like, yeah, that'd be perfect. So I started my Twitter account just to post the jokes on Instagram.
Gotcha.
So all my Twitter followers just kind of found me from Instagram.
Are you making any money from
I was monetizing
Instagram?
Reels, but now I can't because I'm under suspension until February. So it's costing me money too, these motherfuckers. But anywho, before we get out of here, I wanted to get into a little bit of news. I do this at the end of the show. I didn't tell you the format of the show.
Okay,
we talk shit, and then I get into some news stories.
Some current events.
I pick current events, yeah. And I get them from the New York Post, the finest newspaper in the land.
Okay.
But this is an important one because we're wrapping up here. This is coming out. So this is coming out. Christmas, the week after Christmas. So this is the Christmas episode.
I should have worn a hat.
Should have worn.
God damn it.
Should have worn my Christmas cock ring.
Seriously. Yeah. I'd have to pick which one though.
There are
multiple. There are multiple.
I have a cock ring on my mistletoe.
Sexiest religious holiday. Go.
Sexiest religious holiday. Halloween, right? Isn't that like a
religious?
All Saints? Technically. Sexiest religious.
I'm not going to give you that.
I'm going to say Easter because Jesus was ripped. You ever see him on the cross? Shredded.
Yeah. I was going to say Rosh Hashanah.
What's? Oh, you forgive all sins, right?
I was purely based off the name. I have no idea. I have no idea what those Jews are doing on that day.
Just sounded like a hot chick.
They could be doing fuck all. I don't know.
Just sound like a hot girl, Rosh Hashanah.
Yeah, it does. I'm swiping.
So listen to this. This is important. Pornhub reveals most popular 2022 searches. And Texas, you should be ashamed. Pornhub is pulling back the covers on America's X-rated viewing habits, unveiling the website's most popular searches for 2022. So what do you think is the most popular search of this year on Pornhub?
In Texas?
No, across the whole country.
I probably have to, if I was putting money on it, gun to my head, I'd say MILF.
Lesbian.
Really?
Was the most searched term across the Frisky 50 states, with hentai following close behind.
Hentai's in second?
How fucking crazy is that? What is? I blame this on Gen Z. This is your fucking.
Am I Gen Z?
Oh yeah.
96.
Yeah, man. Millennials. I'm a millennial, and then Gen Z's after me.
Silent generation.
Isn't that like the fucking our grandparents' generation? Silent generation. Wait a minute.
Man, a few words.
Yeah. No, dude. Like, they got too much into this fucking anime bullshit.
Yeah.
Hentai. It's not even real people fucking. Like, why would you want to watch that?
I can understand.
I watch cartoons. Fuck.
Does like the Lois Griffin, Stewie Griffin fall into hentai, or is that is hentai separate than like cartoon, like Marge Simpson's?
Then Marge Simpson rape.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, this is. Meanwhile, the words blowjob, cosplay, and trans saw considerable search growth in 2022. And transgender exploded, becoming America's fourth most viewed category overall.
Really? Oh, this is another thing I wanted. And perfect.
What's that about?
Well, I guess people are really into it these days because the Kylian Mbappe, who's like the best
French guy.
Yeah, he's dating a trans person.
Did he know before he started dating?
I think
him or
so.
her. Is it trans man or trans woman?
I think man to woman.
Okay, so trans woman.
Yeah. Is that okay? Yeah.
Because he could be dating a dude. Yeah.
And when I found that out, I was like, oh, that's interesting. Like, he can probably get whoever he wants, whether he likes guys or no, I'm sure she's a great lady. But I'm not surprised.
I'm sure he didn't settle for his girlfriend.
Yeah. But that's why that doesn't surprise me. So I guess it's
but I wonder too if it's also a lot of just curiosity. Like, what does it look like?
Yeah.
What does
what do tits and a dick look like at the same
time?
Yeah,
or trans reconstructed vagina. Like, what is that? What the probably curiosity. Like, what can you have? Like,
what does that look? Pull it up. We got the big TV.
Yeah, put it back here. Just get me banned from YouTube.
Have you ever looked up what a reconstructed one looks like?
Dude, I looked up labiaplasty, and that was enough for me.
What's that?
That's when women get their vaginas trimmed. Regular, like natural-born women will get their vaginas, like if they have like lips hanging, they'll get them shaved down.
I thought that was like a thing they do in like fucking Saudi Arabia.
Oh, yeah, you're thinking of female genital mutilation.
Yes.
No, but this is popular in LA. Vagina reconstructive surgery. Women will get like their lips like reduced so they're all nice and tucked in. If they have like a little hanging, they'll just get it cut off.
Did they use like a nail file or something?
I don't know, but like, could you imagine like if you were uncircumcised, getting circumcised in your 30s.
There was a kid in high school that did that.
That's what I said. I had a buddy who did it when he was 13. He said it was awful. I couldn't imagine the pain of a woman. Yeah, shave my vagina down a little bit. It's like, Jesus Christ, man. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't care if a lip hangs a little lower. Like, be comfortable, babe.
You got to be out of commission for quite a while, I would think.
Yeah, and I wonder if you like lose sensation because of the nerve endings and shit. It could be dangerous for you. I don't know. It's not my thing.
Good current event though.
Good current. Yeah, top porn stars are Bella Danger, Lana Rhoades, Riley Reid, Violet Myers, and Angela White. Congratulations, ladies.
All good.
Top 5. Yes. You all placed. You all finished. Love you. You all have a special place in my life. In the toilet on a napkin.
Oh my God.
All right, let me find one.
And this is all New York Post.
All New York Post, baby. Let's see. You want to talk about Pornhub? I got a nose job. My mom's shocked by what she found. I'll give you a pick here. Bridesmaid groped by husband, found something crazy in my nose. That's one. Bridesmaid groped her husband.
Okay.
Story 1.
Wait, bridesmaid. Okay.
That's story 1. Story 2 is I got a rhinoplasty and they found something crazy in my nose. That's story 2. And then story 3, Lizzo's very hurt because someone claimed she makes music for white people. And be careful because we know Lizzo's a hot topic.
See, the thing is, I know she is, but I don't really know much about her. What song? Besides she like...
Besides she's a overweight black porn star?
Yeah.
Pop star? Porn star. Sorry.
I was like, wait, what? I really don't know Lizzo.
No. Look, she's a great musician.
What songs does she have that I don't know?
I can't... she didn't do Wet Ass Pussy. That was Meg Thee Stallion. I don't know. This is the thing. I haven't listened to anything new since 2007. I'm an old fuck.
I'm also bad with music too. But I like the groping bridesmaid. That's hot. It's always good. But I want to know what's in the nose.
The nose. All right, we'll get that. That's a good easy one. And you'll like this because it's a Instagram influencer. And I'm sure you probably follow this bitch. Ava Louise, 24 from New Jersey, claimed she got a nose job because she couldn't breathe, but was left breathless when the plastic surgeon pulled a cocaine rock out of her nose.
What the fuck?
Yeah, she posted this on TikTok. I had over 7 million views. When I told my mom I was having breathing issues, my septum must be deviated, and the only cure was a nose job.
Convenient for her.
Yeah, but she just told her mom that because she wanted the free plastic surgery.
Yeah.
So her mom went to her for the surgery, and while she was getting the surgery, the doctor removed a giant rock that was made of mostly cocaine and blood.
That's wild.
Yeah, she tried to play it off, but her mom knew right away.
Play it off as what?
Yeah,
there's no it doesn't fall in there.
Dude, she had a Charlie Sheen 7-gram rock of cocaine up her nose.
Dude, that's insane. How long do you think it was in there for?
She said the article goes on to say that she partied a lot in college. She's 24, so at least 18 to 22, right? So she said I haven't really partied
2 years,
that much.
Maybe.
Yeah. So I mean, could you imagine like?
Are you like high the whole time?
Well, that's what I wonder. Like, I wonder if like the doctor can like crack it up and snort it.
Yeah,
like, does cocaine go bad?
Preserve it.
Does cocaine go bad? Yeah. No one knows if cocaine can go bad.
It's like
there's no expiration date on cocaine because it lasts 30 minutes at max.
It's like Jurassic Park, like got stuck in the sap. Like you have to extract the blood.
She's got
life finds a way.
Yeah, she has to fossilize cocaine in her nose. I really wonder if the doctor like crushed it up later and snorted it.
I mean, if you're a plastic surgery doctor, those guys are kind of like the party guys, right?
They must have. Yeah, he must have known right away what it was. I mean, I'm sure a guy like that who does a lot of deviated septums knows what a cocaine rock looks like.
Do you think that happens a lot though?
Yeah, people burn holes in their nose, but not at 24. I mean, like that's the thing. Like, look, you know, a guy like Charlie Sheen, fucking great example. Artie Lang, very funny comedian.
His nose is gone.
Yeah, gone. But he did cocaine for 30 years.
Yeah,
he had a massive.
And it took until like glass was in there.
She's 24 and her fucking nose was bent out of shape. I mean, she must have been. Look, we'll look her up after the show. She's hot, so I'm sure she's getting a lot of free cocaine from guys.
Yeah.
But I mean, enough to get a fucking 7-gram rock of cocaine stuck in her nose.
I've coughed once and had like a double Western bacon cheeseburger come out of my nose. But I think that's like.
That's about as far as I went.
Yeah, that's a different level.
I know she had $1,200 worth of cocaine stuck up her nose.
Dude.
Her mom was pissed. She was like, "That's
crazy. That's crazy.
What was she gonna do? I'm 24 now. It's already done. I already did it." Like,
dude, that reminds me of when I had to get my wisdom teeth removed. They put you under or whatever, and had like a heart like flutter or whatever, and the doctor was like. And I think I was a freshman year of college or something. And I really only drink. That's like the only thing I do. Yeah. And he was like, "Oh, the only answer is he's been doing drugs." And I was like, "What the fuck? This guy completely threw me us. It's not true." So then I had to go see a doctor to see if there was something. He's like, he either has a terrible heart condition or he's doing drugs. And I was like, "Please, like, let me have the heart condition."
I know. Your mom must have been pissed.
Yeah,
Doctor making claims like
that. Yeah. And I remember hearing it when
it turns out he's a fucking square. He gets the heart condition.
Yeah. Just the anesthesia medicine was too much for me. I was too tough.
Dude, this was fun, man.
Yeah, dude.
Where can people find you?
George Dulcich on Instagram. You can also watch 12 Packs with Jeff Dye.
Right.
It's a show I do with Jeff. A lot of fun. We open up cards, sports cards. We drink beer, shoot the shit. We should probably get you on it one day.
I'll come bullshit with you guys. You know that.
Don's been on it. Yeah. So
nice.
If we allow Don on,
I know. I got to come to Thick
the
Boy
barrier of entry is low.
Where you work.
Yeah. And then,
follow him on Instagram.
This weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Comedy Connection in Rhode Island, headlining.
Dope, dude.
No, I just always wanted to say that on the podcast.
I love the Comedy Connection in Rhode Island, man. That's a great club. I was fucking about to be really jealous.
No, check it at GeorgeDulcich.com. No. No. I'll be at the Ha-Ha on Thursday. Yeah.
With Anthony Staridi. I got to have him back on. All right, guys. That's it for this one.
Thank you. Appreciate it. This was a lot of fun.
That's it for this one, guys. Follow us at Ready, Set, Blow podcast on Instagram. Follow me at Randy Valerio. Follow the show everywhere. YouTube, Instagram, fucking Spotify. Everywhere but AM radio. All right, guys. We love you.
Yes.
Merry Christmas. Peace.
Merry Christmas.